Hey everyone, I have a big immigration update to share with you in today's video. USCIS has yet again implemented a new policy regarding green card renewals. And in certain cases, USCIS is going to be extending green cards for up to 48 months. Now, there's some good news to this and some potentially not so good news. So we're going to cover all of this in today's video, so make sure to stick around. Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ashuri and I'm a US immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we regularly post videos to make sure that you're up to date with the latest immigration news and to provide you with helpful immigration tips. As I mentioned in today's video, I'm going to cover a new policy from USCIS. This policy has to do with basically a way that USCIS is going to be extending green cards for certain applicants that need to apply to remove the condition from their green card. Now, let me explain what this means. In certain cases, people that get their green card get a conditional green card for a period of 2 years. And at the end of that conditional period of their green card, they are required to apply to remove the condition from their green card. Now, in particular, there are two classifications of conditional green card holders. One classification is for certain people that get their green card through marriage. And the other classification of people are investors that get their green card based on making an investment in a US business. Now, for that certain classification of people that have to apply to remove their condition after they got a conditional green card through marriage, the application process requires them to file a Form I-751. That's the application type for people that need to apply to remove the condition from their green card based on getting a conditional green card through marriage. Now, the second classification of people, the investors, when they need to apply to remove the condition from their green card, they have to file a Form I-829. So that's just for you to know the different processes that are involved and the different categories of people that have to apply to remove the condition from their green card. I want to go into the purpose of today's video, which is to talk about a new policy from USCIS. Again, as I mentioned, in certain cases, people have to apply to remove the condition from their green card by filing either a Form I-751 or a Form I-829. Basically, in both of those cases that I mentioned earlier, the green card is valid for 2 years. And at the end of that 2-year period, the person has to apply to remove the condition from the green card. When the applicant is applying to remove the condition from their green card, what happens when that green card expires and their application to remove the condition to get the permanent green card is still processing? How does that applicant demonstrate proof of valid status in the United States? How do they demonstrate proof of that? Well, in the past, USCIS has issued a receipt notice. So basically, when you file the Form I-751 or you file the Form I-829, when you submit that application, USCIS will give you a receipt that confirms that they have received your application. Well, in the past, USCIS has included language on that receipt notice that acts to extend the applicant's green card. So basically, the applicant can provide their expired green card along with the receipt notice. And again, that receipt notice has special language that extends the green card beyond the expiration date listed on the green card. Well, the news that I'm sharing with you today is that USCIS has now modified this policy. So now the receipt notice for those applicants will act to extend the green card for 48 months. That's 4 years. Now take a look at my screen and we're going to go through this update together. Hey everyone, so as you can see here, we are on the USCIS website and we're looking at this news article. The title of the article is USCIS extends green card validity for conditional permanent residents with a pending Form I-751 or Form I-829. As you can see, this article is dated January 23rd, 2023, and it says here, USCIS is extending the validity of permanent resident cards, also known as green cards, for petitioners who properly file Form I-751, petition to remove conditions on residence, or Form I-829, petition by investor to remove conditions on permanent resident status, for 48 months beyond the card's expiration date. This change started on January 11th, 2023 for Form I-829 and will start on January 25th, 2023 for Form I-751. We are making this change to accommodate current processing times for Form I-751 and Form I-829, which have increased over the past year. USCIS has updated the language on Form I-751 and Form I-829 receipt notices to extend the validity of a green card for 48 months for individuals with a newly filed Form I-751 or Form I-829. We will issue new receipt notices to eligible conditional permanent residents who previously received notices with an extension shorter than 48 months and whose cases are still pending. These receipt notices can be presented with an expired green card as evidence of continued status, while the case remains pending with USCIS. By presenting your updated receipt notice with your expired green card, you remain authorized to work and travel for 48 months from the expiration date on the front of your expired green card. Thanks for sticking with me while we went over that update. So if you recall, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we have some good news and it's potentially not such great news. And I want to tell you what I mean by that. Well, the good news is that ultimately this is a benefit to conditional green card holders because essentially USCIS is now extending the period of time that the receipt notice will act to extend the conditional green card. Now, as I mentioned, it's now 48 months. So that receipt notice that USCIS will issue will now act to extend the green card for 48 months from the date of the expiration on the green card. And ultimately that's a benefit. But the reason why I mention that this is potentially not such great news is that USCIS is doing this because processing times for the Form I-751 and the Form I-829, they've increased over the last year. So ideally, these processing times would go down so that there would be no need for this policy to be implemented. But unfortunately, as USCIS clearly mentions in the update, over the last year, these processing times have increased. And the reason for the need for this protocol and this updated policy is to account for the fact that these processing times have gone up. So from that standpoint, it's potentially not the best news. So anyways, that's the update for today's video. Again, this new policy has been implemented where applicants for Form I-751 and applicants for Form I-829 that are properly filing these forms, when they get the receipt notice from USCIS, it will act to extend the green card for 48 months from the date of the expiration on the green card. I hope you found this information very valuable. I hope you learned a lot from this video. As always, if you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please feel free to share this video with them. If you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you on the next video.